There's dolphins.
Well, we're situated up on the top of Helvick Head, just outside of Dungarvan, between Dungarvan and Minehead probably would be the best place to describe it. And we're looking out to sea, and we are seeing minke whales at the moment. And of course I promised you fin whales, because I had fin whales here on Monday, and of course with typical wildlife watching protocols, not a sign of a fin whale yet. We might still have a chance.
I've lived here for 26 years, I think now. I love it. I used to live in Dublin, and I'm not really a city person. I just love the wilds and the outdoors and everything outside. I just love being outside all the time. I got involved with the Irish Whale and Dolphin group was, probably in around 2003, I'd say. I said to Andrew, let's go whale watching just for a whim.
Anne, who was my girlfriend at the time, she's obviously not the brightest. She's married me since then. But she said, let's go down to the sea and look for whales. And I was like, yeah, whales in Ireland, ridiculous.
And we went down to Ardmore and we saw a few porpoises, and it was kind of cool. I'd never seen any cetacean of any sort before.
And I thought, well, that's all we're going to see. And then we happened to call into the Quay Co-op, and we found a magazine from the Irish Whale and Dolphin group, and they were talking about whales, fin whales off of Hook Head, and we were like, that's just mad. So we went to see them, and it was just like, that's just crazy. And then we went to Whale Watch Day the next year, which was being run by Pádraig Whooley off of Galley Head, and he told us about the scheme to sit in headlands and look out to sea and log what we saw and what we didn't see. And we both thought, that sounds like a good thing to do. We felt like we would be contributing to the knowledge of what was happening, and also it's just fantastically serene, just sitting on a cliff edge looking out to sea. Even if you don't see anything in the way of whales, you're always going to see something of some sort, and it's nearly every time it's something unexpected.
Well, when we go for our watches, we sit on the cliff for probably an hour and a half, and we scan the horizon first of all with your eyes, and then with binoculars, then with the scope, and you just look out for something that is unusual. You kind of get to know after a while what is unusual, like a wave that goes the wrong way, or a blow which looks like a yacht, or a yacht that disappears, and splashes that just aren't in the right place, and you just keep watching them. And everyone, I think, who whale watches has a different technique. My technique is you start at one end and you go out to the horizon and back in, out to the horizon and back in. So it takes me ages. It takes me nearly the whole hour to do a whole scan of the horizon, whereas Andrew, my husband, would be like 6 times faster than me. But it's different. It works for both of us, and the combination of the two of us together, I think it works, and we do see quite a lot. We have seen fin whales.
Minke whale is one of the most common things that we see here.
Common dolphins.
Occasional bottlenose dolphins. There seems to be a small pod of bottlenose that do a circuit of, or maybe they're on their summer holidays, or they come along the south coast between Trimble and Youghal.
Lots of basking sharks.
Last year I thought I saw a beluga, but it was such a brief sighting that I sent it in and said, look, this is what I thought I saw, but I didn't get a good enough look at it to be absolutely certain. But it was a white object, came to the surface and disappeared again. And normally if you see a whitish animal, large dolphin size, it's a Risso's dolphin, but there was no fin in this one. But I didn't get enough of it to put it in as a definite sighting.
Risso's dolphins occasionally, porpoises not that often. And humpback a few times, yeah. After an hour, you're usually, in the winter, you're frozen for a start. But if you've seen anything, especially if you've seen whales, you don't really notice the cold. And sometimes you stand up after being there for an hour and your joints are kind of frozen stiff and you can't move anymore. But it doesn't matter because you just get such a buzz out of seeing these animals. And because we do effort watches, we send in our records to the Irish Whale and Dolphin group. So for me, I feel like I'm doing something towards conservation. I'm not a scientist. I'm just an ordinary Joe. And I just love that I can do something to help protect or conserve these amazing animals.
The fin whales are very unusual to see them at this time of year on a prolonged period. We've had, what's the COVID thing? False negatives. We've had, they arrived and disappeared, and that they've gone, and then they came back again.
On the days you see nothing, it's always interesting because if you see nothing, it could be because the weather conditions or the sea conditions are bad, and in that case, then there might be something there, but you just haven't seen it. If you see nothing and the weather and the sea conditions are perfect, then it's just an interesting, probably statistically, why are they not there? Is it the season that they should be there and they're not there? Are there not enough fish for them? Are they being disturbed by some noises in the sea or something? So it all adds up. Every watch is important to me, and every watch is, I think, important to the Irish Whale and Dolphin group as well.
It used to be that you'd see them at the end of June, very occasionally at the end of May they might turn up. They would kind of be well offshore, and then they might be around for a couple of weeks and then they'd disappear. This year they turned up in May and they've hung around for a while, disappeared for a week, then reappeared again. But every time they've reappeared, they've been quite close inshore, which is very unusual for this time of year, because usually that's only a winter time thing that they do.
If you've never whale watched before and you'd like to give it a go, I would say bring your binoculars, sit on a cliff, bring some warm clothes and something to sit on. Scan the horizon, scan in close to your cliff as well, and give it time, because it does take time. You've got to have patience and time, but you will really get a buzz out of it. It's great when you start seeing the animals. It's just uncomparable. You can't really compare it to anything else. It's amazing.
Is it addictive?
Yes, it is quite addictive. And you'll find yourself looking out for days where the weather is perfect. And you go, let's go now.